Hi, Casper here, and I've got my hands on the iOS 16 developer beta on my iPhone 8 Plus. I want to show you how it performs on a slightly older device, and overall what are the new features, maybe also this ones that weren't a topic that much on the conference, basically what's new and how the beta performs on the oldest generation of devices supported right now when it comes to iPhones, because from this what I remember, some iPads that are older than this iPhone are still supported. So first of all, we have the lock screen. Now you can have many different lock screens at once, basically, that you can change them by just holding and swiping. And also you can customize the lock screen however you want by changing the fonts, the colors of the clock. Also you can add widgets to the right next to the date and also under the clock. Plus you can also select the different scripts, ways of writing the numbers for the clock. So not only normal Arabic, but also I think Indian Arabic or something like that. Also, you've got now a gallery of wallpapers, which can recommend you some of the photos from your gallery as recommended wallpapers, and also it has some nice built-in wallpapers like the original, official wallpaper for iOS 16, which can hide the clock slightly under one of those blobs. And also you have the stripes wallpaper, emojis wallpaper, color wallpaper, which basically show gradients, emojis, or the stripes, which is basically the wallpaper we all know with the original Apple logo colors. I don't know how many they are, which is rainbow Apple logo colors. And the background of your choice, where the hour is slightly hidden under the stripes. So that's the lock screen. Also, you can now select one of the three ways of showing notifications on the lock screen: list, stack, or I think it was called counter? Count, yeah. So now with this option to select between count, stack, and list, you can have a notification on the lock screen shown as basically just a circle with a number of notifications next to it, or a stack, which is, you see the newest notification on top, and if you click on it, then you're gonna see all of your notifications. And the list, which is the old way of showing it, just one under another, with stacks being only made out of notifications from the same app or person. Now, from other new features, we've also got Spotlight Search slightly modified, with the bar being now on the bottom right on top of the keyboard instead of on top of the screen. Also, from the new features, we've got the new screen for sleep focus, which looks different than the previous one, and I think it looks really nice. It shows you all the info you need and works really well with the new lock screen. And of all the features, there's one thing that wasn't really talked about in the conference, which is the new design for the pop-up menus when you basically select some text, etc, etc. So it's now light and dark mode, not only dark like it used to be. There are bigger margins, and it has this nice opening animation, sort of, it pops up on the screen. Also, we've got the new dictation, which basically allows you to type and speak at the same time, basically. And you can now edit and remove iMessages. Also, if you're playing music or having a timer set up, you have this widget on the lock screen, like these ones that were talked about, sports and stuff like that, but they are not yet announced, I think, by the creators of the apps. I have tested only two widgets, which are first one, the new music player, which behaves like a lock screen widget. You can do everything you used to be able to do with it, but it looks nicer and more uniform, as well as the new timer widget. Yes, finally, when you set up a timer, you don't have to just see the amount of time left on the under the clock like it used to be, but now you have on the bottom of the screen a completely separate widget in which you have the time left, but also pause button and reset button, which is really handy considering that basically you might just want to pause it without unlocking your phone, which, especially in case of phones with Touch ID like mine, when you have your hands, for example, covered with flour because you're cooking something, then it's not so easy to unlock it with Touch ID. So it's really helpful. I really like this release. In my opinion, it's one of the best iOS releases ever. Obviously it's slightly buggy because it's the first beta, but I have really high hopes for the future of iOS 16, for the public betas and the final stable release. And we'll see what this release is gonna turn into all the way to the release. We're gonna see what this release is gonna become at the end, but for now I think it's one of my favorite iOS versions ever. I really like the new lock screen, and even though this update is mostly filled with cosmetic changes, I think that also it might be a little bit disappointing because there are not too many of those cosmetic changes. So if you don't really look at your lock screen really at all, then I don't know, is there something really amazing in this update? Because except the lock screen, there are basically no bigger changes from iOS 15. But I'm still not disappointed, since the lock screen is an important part of my phone, and I'm really glad because of the new changes that were announced. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and obviously see you in the next one.